R2 the dog. I ain't even been feeling like doing this. But let's get it. Yeah. It's probably the real level up. BIP Red Dog 1.
The O is for the 16 ounces that's in the whole pound. They really out here feeling my music. Shout out the whole town. K is for the killers I know who keep the 4 pound. You give an inch, he taking the mile like it was 4th down. The L is for the ladies for sure. I mean the real ones who out here working hard for they.
What's up, world? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy R2, and we back with another banger. You know what I'm saying? So grab your popcorn and your cold drink and go on over there and hit that like button. Then hit that subscribe button. And after you do that, go on over there and hit that bell. So when I drop these bangers, you be one of the first ones to put your eyes on it. You know what I'm talking about? What's good? What's good? What's good? It's your boy, man. We back. Man, how y'all feeling today? Today was a good day for me, man. I kind of chilled out today. You know what I mean? Yesterday was so crazy at the shop. I kind of chilled out today. I did some cutting, but I was just kind of in and out. You feel me? First and foremost, I want to thank the supporters, man. The people who pull up, the people who comment, the people who take the time to actually watch the videos, and the people who, don't nitpick and what they point out. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of these videos, man, like I say, it's all speculation. You understand? So if I get a detail or two wrong on the story, hey, man, get out the comments, man. Get off my head about that before I really get on y'all bumper about that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You know how many YouTube videos that I've watched from other people that had nothing to do with the title. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate this good content. Appreciate me just sticking with the title. You feel me? Because a lot of these videos on YouTube, and then I be seeing y'all D-riding in them comments. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's from somebody that's of clout of you, or got a bigger name or something. You know what I'm saying? So let my nuts go. You feel me in the comments? You dig? But definitely appreciate the supporters, man. Everybody that comment, the good, the bad, the ugly, it's all appreciated, because you know why? It still helped me get that bread. Even though them comments is annoying and them comments seem like y'all be trying to, just nitpick and get right to the exact, man, if you want the exact story, go watch the news, creep. You understand? This is just my opinion. This is what's going on, and this is how we looking at it from my perspective. Life is about how you look at things. You dig what I'm saying? And that's called perspective. You feel me? So that's how we viewing it from my side. You dig? And sometimes the details may get a little mixed up or something, but come on, man. I'm not inch high private eye. You dig what I'm saying? We trying to get this bag, and we trying to stay communicating with the people. This is what this is about. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my episodes, they be about a specific story, but then that's what makes me unique. I switch it up, and we find out what we can learn from these situations. I'm talking to the young people of the world, man. If you 50, 60, 70 years old sitting at your house and you ain't got nothing to do but mind other people's, YouTube channels and, troll in the comments, bruh, listen, I don't care. And I definitely ain't, doing this for y'all. You feel me? So I'm doing this for the young people, man, just so we can learn from these situations, because they all be real crazy situations that we can all learn from. Because let's be honest, any of these stories that we talk about could be any of us. You understand what I'm saying? It can be any of us. You feel me? So without further ado, man, let's jump right into the comment. Today, man, we talking about KEEFE D. Yes, we talking about KEEFE D. KEEFE D, for the people who don't know, is the person who got on the internet and started flexing, saying that he killed Tupac and this, and that, and the third, and saying that he knew certain things about certain events, that surrounded the killing of Tupac. And the man really, literally talked himself to the jail cell. You understand? That's who KEEFE D is. You know what I'm saying? He's Orlando. He's the Orlando guy that supposedly killed Tupac, or supposedly Tupac and Suge and the crew, Death Row, beat up in the the famous video of the dude getting beat up in the casino. That's Orlando, and KEEFE D is his uncle. You know what I mean? Supposedly, KEEFE D was there that night that they killed Tupac. After they whooped Orlando, he went and got his uncles. You know what I'm saying? Went and told his uncles, and it just so happened that these dudes were real Crips. You understand? hence the fight in the casino. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might have said cuz, or somebody might have, you know what I mean, said something wrong, and, you know, Tupac took flight on dude, beat him up, you know, and then all the rest of the crew jumped on the dude, you know what I mean, and then he went back to his people, which was some real Crips, and according to KEEFE D, they loaded up and they waited on Tupac to come out. As soon as they seen him, they pulled up on the side of him, handled that business, and smashed off back to the turf. Yes, this is who we talking about, KEEFE D. His trial has been pushed back to 2026, but not only that, my boy done been in a prison scuffle, man. My boy done been in a incident where he had to assault another inmate, and he had to go to court for that. So it's like, damn, KEEFE D, damn, OG. It's like, if you didn't have nothing to do with this, which, you know, I got some clips for y'all to check out, and that's his claims. He's saying that he didn't have nothing to do with this stuff. He wasn't there. He was just basically, you know what I mean, making up videos for clout. That's your best bet. You should have never did that anyway, because let's be honest, that's always been a touchy subject for the black community. It's who killed Tupac. It's always been a big mystery. You know what I mean? Everybody say, you know, it was a dude in a bow tie. They think it was the government that killed Tupac. They think it was Suge Knight that had something to do with kill Tupac. They saying that KEEFE D was working with P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? It's all kind of speculation going on with this case. And to me, it sounds like it ain't nothing but what we've been hearing for all these years, all of this speculation. You know what I mean? A bunch of speculation. But see, KEEFE D, he put a lot of this stuff into perspective for the police, man. He put a lot of events that happened that night into perspective for the police. He woke up this investigation. I don't know what his intentions was on saying this stuff on these live videos, but bruh, you shouldn't have never did that, because now you done turned it into a real situation. Now you really locked up for this. Now you done really got yourself locked up, and now you done had to, at 50, 60 some years old, you done had to get on another dude in the joint, you know what I'm saying, or in the county or wherever, you know what I'm saying. You didn't have to put hands or put a weapon on one of these dudes, and now you in court for a real assault in prison, and you got to look at the time for that. So even if you didn't, you know what I mean, do nothing to Tupac, or if you beat that part, you know what I mean, now you got to deal with this prison assault, man. That's basically, I just want to know, is it worth it? The bag that you got from Vlad, or the bag that you got from the interview going viral, bro, was it life-changing? Please, if somebody in the comments let me know if I'm wrong here. If it wasn't life-changing, and I'm talking about some millions and millions and millions and millions, if not $1 billion, man. I know it wasn't $1 billion, and let's be realistic. Let's just be realistic, man. For that, I would have needed at least 10, 20, man, because I got to go through all this legal process. Now they trying to slam me in the can for this let's say 96, 20-some-year-old murder case, man. Tupac was killed in 1996. Here it is, almost 2026, and KEEFE D is about to stand trial for the murder of Tupac, man. That's crazy. When they wasn't even looking at this cat. The police was not looking at this cat. He was not a suspect. He was not, you know what I mean, being watched by the feds or nothing. This dude took it upon himself to make a video with a famous interviewer, DJ Vlad, and get up there and talk, knowing how they say these interviews is getting people in trouble. This dude right here is probably the textbook definition of crazy. He got to be crazy. He got to be kind of, you know what I mean, off. He got to be kind of missing a couple screws, man. He definitely ain't the smartest chip in the bag. You understand? Now you done had to do something to an inmate, and you done hurt him bad enough to where they want to press charges on you, man. And that's what they doing. They pressing charges on you. So without further ado, man, y'all ain't gonna talk y'all's head off. You know what I mean? We finna jump right into the first clip just so y'all can see, you know, who KEEFE D is. You know what I mean? Everybody knows about the Tupac situation. And this dude right here is the one who sat there and admitted to having something to do with a 20-something-year-old cold case. You know what I mean? And obviously he's not smart enough to know that murder is one of the only cases that don't have a statute of limitations, man. So it don't matter how long ago you did something to somebody. If you ain't never stood trial for it, you still could very well stand trial for that, man. So don't be running around. And let's point this out to the young people out there. Let that be a lesson, man. What I always tell y'all, man, if you're going to do dirt, do it by yourself, because you ain't going to tell on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And in this case, it turned out to be this dude really did tell on himself. Don't be a jackass like him, please. You understand? Don't get on these videos, and don't get on these, you know, podcasts talking about open cases and stuff that you ain't never been in trouble for. Everything that I done got on here and talked about as far as me doing criminally, I done got in trouble for it and went to, anything that could come back, I done got in trouble for it and went and came back, man. I done my time for it, man. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't get up here and sit here and talk about no murders, period. I don't give a damn who you are. You understand me? But that's just me. You understand? So without further ado, man, let's check out this first clip. Let's get it.
How you feel about the people that feel like Big Dre, he shot Tupac? Because you did make a confession some years ago, man, and you said that you gave the gun to Big Dre, but he got cold feet. So Orlando, he ended up snatching the gun and shooting Tupac.
No.
Was Big Dre like that? Was he capable of doing that? Was he a shooter?
Them dudes was kids, man. Both of them dudes was kids back then. They was kids, dude. Them dudes was kids. Dre was an all-CIF basketball player, dude. You know what I'm saying? Big Dre was an all-CIF basketball player. You know what I'm saying? A nice shot, all that shit. Dunking and all that shit. Them dudes was kids. Dre was an athlete. Them dudes was athletes, dude. You know? They weren't about that, you know? Yeah. Back then, Dre was a... Yeah.
So he didn't pull the trigger?
Man, we already discussed that. Would you trying to get me in jail again?
See, that was one of the later videos. Because, he had started to, the stuff had started to hit the fan. But I just showed y'all that clip just to show you that, even then, he's still talking too much. You know what I'm saying? He's still saying, he still got this man sitting across from him talking about an open murder case. You understand? Listen, don't open the doors for stuff that you ain't, if you don't feel comfortable talking about it, can't nobody make you talk about nothing. Don't open the doors for stuff like this, man, because, these interviewers, they get real messy. And I get it. They only want to talk about the hot topics. They only want to talk about the big story. You understand what I'm saying? But that don't mean you got to get up there and say that, admitting to anything, man. You don't have to get on these podcasts, admitting to things, especially open murder cases. Let's be clear. Young people, if you don't know this, take note. Murder is one of the only charges that has no statute of limitations on. Let me explain what that means. Statute of limitations is the time frame that you could be charged, if the police found out that you did something. Let's say you went and, knocked over an old lady, robbed her for a purse. The statute of limitations on that could be, anywhere from 10 to 15 years, maybe 6 to 10 years. Now, let's say you do it in January of 2020. Now, if it's 10 years, if you did it in January of 2020, you better be real still until about 2030. Somewhere in 2030 after January, because that's the 10-year span. So that's what I mean when I say statute of limitations. Murder has no statute of limitations. It could be 40, 50, 60, 70 years later. They could pick you up for it if somebody go tell them, say, hey, he had something to do with this murder back in 1960. And they got any kind of, any kind of situation that puts you on the scene or any kind of proof of that. They coming to holler at you. Because, yes, you can stand trial for that murder, man. So, little bros, I'm not telling y'all to murder anybody. Don't think Unc is telling y'all that. But listen, I understand how the streets go. I know what's happening. You understand? So, don't be out here talking about the stuff that you're doing, bruh. Don't be interviewing nobody. Don't be getting on no podcast talking about street business. You understand me? Especially open cases. You understand? And if you ain't been to the pen for it, if you ain't paid your debt to society for it, don't get on here talking about it, man. You know what I mean? If you don't want nobody to know about it, don't get on here talking about it, man. Let that be a lesson. You know what I mean? Because this old cat, OG, 60-some years old, you made it. If y'all did, pop Tupac, y'all made it. You made it. Your nephews, they made it. They died due to other street beef. You understand? Because these is real gangbangers here. These dudes real Crips. You know what I mean? From the southern Los Angeles area. And if I ain't mistaken, Orlando was gunned down at a Fat Burger a long time ago. You know what I mean? By some of his other ops. You know what I'm saying? Caught him slipping. I'm pretty sure, it just was his time because I'm pretty sure he done caught plenty of people slipping. Look at the situation we in now. You know what I mean? So Unc is locked up, man. He fighting this. His lawyers is trying to, get him out of this jam that he done got himself into. We got some more clips. Let's check them out. Let's jump right into it, man. We ain't gonna keep talking to y'all.
So I don't know where you get all the extras from, but they had a conversation at the hospital and all that. That's absolutely not true. Say less, if you know what I mean. But instead of just saying less, since I've been in here, Snoop and other people been having people trying to bail the guy out, KEEFE D, because he talking too much. Raising them trying to do stuff for Puffy because they say he talking too much. They even had somebody talk to me and say, hey, you can help him get free. I said, look, I don't have nothing to do with none of that, and I'm not leaving prison to go to nobody county jail. To the point they were saying, well, you can't leave and sacrifice a little bit in the county jail to stop that black man from getting life? Hell the fuck no. I ain't wishing bad on him at all because I don't want to see nobody go to prison. And like I told you last time, since I find out more details about certain things, I probably would go to the Vegas County Jail if me and KEEFE D with Sellies. We have a good conversation after I give him, six upside his head, another 6 in his body, and another 2. But yeah, that's definitely didn't happen with Snoop didn't go to the hospital.
Shit, yo,
that's a lie.
Lance ain't doing no scrapping.
I want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. You said that Snoop, he trying to bail KEEFE D out of prison?
Well, this is the thing. First of all, you got to understand, him, Puffy, Ray J, all those dudes, they got Puffy ties. And apparently, KEEFE D telling it all. You know what I mean? And the more he talked, the more they'll get hurt about the situation.
So they basically saying, is trying to link this dude to Puff Daddy, right? Basically, what they always been saying for years, that Puff Daddy had something to do with Tupac. So this was their way to try to link KEEFE D. And KEEFE D even came out on an interview and said that he was, he got $1 million from Puff Daddy. Come on, bro. How much more trolling? How far was you going to take this troll mission, OG? I just want to know. You know what I mean? Because it's obvious that you was trying to, generate a buzz. You did that. But you generated a buzz from the wrong people, gang. The police got your ass now, bruh. And you sitting in that Las Vegas County Jail, bruh, sick. And I got a clip to prove that this dude is in jail sick. He is sick, bruh. Because you got to understand, man, he pushing 60 years old, bruh. Look at the man. He 50-something for sure. He ain't got another prison sentence in him, bruh. He ain't got it. I mean, you know what I mean? Because the life expectancy of a black male is probably 60-something, 50-something. You know what I'm saying? It's low for a black man in America. It's low. It ain't what you would think. Women, they gonna be higher, you know what I mean? Because they typically take better care of their bodies than men do. Men, women, they go to the doctor every so often, get a pap smear, get a checkup. Men, unless his dick start burning, he probably ain't going to the hospital ever. You understand? Unless it's a toothache or something that's just taking you down tremendously. Males really ain't going to the doctor like that. You know what I'm saying? My uncle died in my crib. He didn't really want to go to the, he had lung cancer, man. Rest in peace to Unc. My big Unc, you know what I mean? Love you every day, baby. You know what I mean? He died in my house when I was in high school. You know what I mean? I came home, my mama was crying. I already knew what the business was, but he looked like he was just in my bed asleep, but he was gone, you know what I'm saying? Because he didn't want to go to the hospital. He didn't want to go, you know what I mean, get up under them doctors and hear all that extra depressing news. You go in there and tell them something wrong with your pinky, they be done told you got this, that, and the third. That's just a big fear for men. So it's like life expectancy for the black man, and that's probably, the white man, but for the black man, shoot, it's probably lower than 60. You understand? Because we eating pork, we eating all this red meat, we drinking Kool-Aid, hella sugar, you understand? We eat cookies, we eating donuts. You know what I mean? We doing it raw doggy dog, you understand? And that's not to say white people don't eat too, but come on, y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? We get busy, you understand? Yeah, we've seasoned to the roof, you understand? We this sauce, that sauce, you know what I mean? We putting extra with the woo wham and all that, you understand? You ever seen a black person salad? He got chicken strips, chicken breasts, eggs, bacon bits, you understand, chip crumbs, cracker crumbs, you understand, this, you know, all the veggies, you understand. Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, man, KEEFE D, he's sick, bro, because it's like, damn, I done talked myself into a situation, a real situation, a situation that he might have really been a part of. Let's keep it gangster. You know what I mean? If Orlando was indeed his nephew, which I believe it was, and he got socked up by Tupac and some Bloods at the Mike Tyson, you know what I mean? Right before the Mike Tyson fight or after the Mike Tyson fight, you know what I'm saying? Primetime Vegas, that he's saying that they was kids, but let's be honest, they in Vegas kicking it at the fight. So they 17, 18, you know what I mean? They ain't really kids, you know what I'm saying? They outside gangbanging, you know what I mean? Them the young homies really, you know what I'm saying? So sent them up in there. They go up in there to do whatever, run into Tupac and the Bloods, you know what I mean? The Pyrus or whatever, whatnot, you feel me? Run into the homies, fool fam, get socked up, you know what I mean? Get your chain took off your neck and all of that, get stomped out your clothes, and then you get back to your uncle, and they like, what? Oh, man, we say no more. It's already, you know what I mean? I can't even look at my nephews like this. Let's get it. You understand? Now I'm inclined to believe that story, man. That sounds more believable than the story that they was painting to us on the documentary and all these years ago, talking about the dude with the bow tie and all of that. That didn't make no sense to me ever because let's like I say this, man. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and the smoke was Tupac and the rest of the crew whooping on that dude in the casino. That's the first thing I would have been looking at if somebody did something to him after that. Because y'all just whooped the dude. That tells it all. You know what I mean? Y'all just whooped him. And not only did y'all whoop him, y'all jumped him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he going to get that pistola. For sure. I'm surprised it took him so long to go way back to his people, get way back to his people, get in the car, have to wait for them to come out. I'm surprised he didn't go to the car, get the strap, and just walk on back in the casino. But I'm pretty sure they got, you know what I mean, metal detectors and all of that, security in place, and you don't want to do it on camera, and you probably would have got caught up way back then, you know what I mean? But, so we got another clip. Let's check out this other clip, though, y'all.
Please be seated. Do the parties stipulate to the presence of the jury?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Has the jury elected a fourth person? That's Mr. Medina. Have the jurors reached a verdict?
Yes, sir.
Do we have the verdict?
In the courtroom, sick. A prison assault?
Court will now read the verdict out loud.
District Court, Clark County, Nevada. The State of Nevada Plaintiff versus Dwayne Keith Davis Defendant. Case number C25389079-2, Department 4. Verdict. We, the jury in the above entitled case, find the defendant, Dwayne Davis, as follows. Count 1, battery by prisoner. Guilty of battery by prisoner. We, the jury in the above entitled case, find the defendant, Dwayne Davis, as follows. Count 2, challenge to fight. Guilty of challenge to fight. Dated this 9th day, April 2025, signed by Ronnie Medina, foreperson. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this your verdict as read? So say you one, so say you all.
Yes.
Yes. All right, thank you. The clerk will now record the verdict in the minutes of the court. Does either party wish to have the jury polled?
So they didn't hit this man.
Please be seated. Please be seated.
They didn't hit this man with two counts of challenging to fight. I'm pretty sure, they took it light on the situation. He didn't had to sock somebody up, you know what I mean, or sock or somebody done socked him up, or you know how it go. You know what I'm saying? When you in that kind of facility, this is what I always tell the youngsters, and youngsters listen to this. I'm telling you, man, county jail, Oklahoma County Jail is worse than any prison I ever been to. Right? Worse than any prison I've ever been to. And I'm talking about solely the conditions, the bed bugs, the staph infections, not coming out your cell for weeks at a time. You know what I mean? You basically got to bogard your way out the cell. They got to open the cell door to feed you because they don't got bean holes. You know what I mean? In the main jail, they might got them when you go to lockup or something. In the county jail, I think they do because that's how they got to give you your issue. But in the main jail, on the main floors, you know, I know back when I was in there, it ain't no bean hole. So they got to open that cell door. They may have put bean holes on the doors now so they don't have to open it to stop people from bogarting out and just jumping in the shower. Because if you open my door, I'm coming out to take a shower, gang. I don't give a damn if you try to stick your foot in the door. If I got to sock you up real quick to get up out this cell, I'm going to the shower. And I ain't took a shower in a week, gang. Yeah, I'm not fit bird bath with three other dudes in the cell. Sometimes I ain't never been in a 4-man cell, but I heard they putting people in 4-man cells now. It's getting that bad. It's getting that crowded. You understand what I'm saying? I only been in a 3-man cell. It's only room in that cell for 3 people. 3 is the max because you got one person on the floor in the boat, which is a big little, you know, kind of like a plastic little twin bed that you lay down and put your mat inside there. You know what I'm saying? And then he got to either lay his head by the toilet or lay his head next to this cat and he's snoring and all that. So it's like, yeah, man, I ain't, you know, and that's pushing it. So I would be damned if you stick a 4th man in here. Not gonna happen. Not with me. You got to take me to the hole. You know what I'm saying? So Oklahoma County is worse than any prison I ever been to. And you're gonna do some fighting. If you don't like to fight, trust me, man, that ain't where you want to go. So youngsters, be mindful, man. Stay away from that county jail. Stop throwing rocks at the penitentiary. It ain't worth it. My man, he done did all these fugazi ass interviews. Now his lawyers got to try to sit there and explain to them that he was just, you know, basically trolling, trying to get a bag off the internet. You know what I mean? Talking about a hot story, placing himself at the scene, doing all of this. And he actually got picked up for it. You know what I mean? Because he was giving some details that only a person who knew, who was there, would have known. You did? Because if the police didn't take it serious, they wouldn't even picked him up for it. But, you know, you want to go public, talk on these interviews and do all this stuff right here, they picked him up. He's now in the Las Vegas County fighting the murder of Tupac. In the midst of that, he got into a scuffle, got into an altercation with somebody at the jail. Now he had to come to court and get convicted of that. Now he got to do some time on that. You know what I'm saying? Before he ever see the trial on the Tupac murder. You know what I mean? We got one more clip for y'all, man. But that's crazy, right? So my advice, what I'm learning from this is to shut your mouth, man. If you know something, forget that you know it. Don't get on here talking about it. Don't get on the internet talking about it. You know, you don't got to explain everything to everybody, man. But see, these dudes want clout, they want attention, and they know what's going to get the bag better than a juicy story about Tupac. Everybody, that was a mystery that everybody, you know what I mean, been waiting on for forever. And for you to put yourself in that, you know, back in that time and put yourself in that car and put yourself involved in that situation, knowing that murder doesn't have any statute of limitations, I don't think he thought that through. You understand? But let's check out this last clip, man.
They ain't got no evidence. They don't have nothing. They know they don't have nothing. Can't even place me out here. And they don't have no gun, no car, no KEEFE D, no nothing. No, everybody on video but KEEFE D. You know what I'm saying? This is wrong, man.
Prosecutors declined to respond directly to Davis's new claims. They say their case is strong, and they expect a conviction. KEEFE D, emotional about his life behind bars and time away from his grandchildren.
Yeah, I thought I was going to do college with my grandkids. You know, they're pretty good athletes. You know, 18 years later, you know what I'm saying, I did everything they asked me to do. Get new friends, stop selling drugs. I stopped all that.
The trial is still nearly a year away, scheduled to start in February of 2026.
I shouldn't have said nothing. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have said nothing. And I'm innocent, man. And God got my back, and God will see me through this.
You right, OG. God got your back for sure. You understand? I don't wish prison on nobody, man. I hope you shake that off. I hope you get from up under this situation. And, you know, I like that he took accountability, man. He said that he shouldn't have said nothing. And I couldn't be in more agreement with you, OG. You should have kept that one to yourself, my guy. You know what I mean? Because I feel bad, bro. It's like, damn, you got your grandkids out here, they going to college, playing ball, you know what I'm saying? Athletes. you know what I mean, you could have been at the crib with them enjoying life, man. But I understand you trying to provide and you trying to get a bag, but see, you gotta dig a little deeper, man. You know what I mean? That Tupac stuff, that was something that should have went to the grave with you, OG. You understand? But you know, you live and you learn, man. And now all you can do is pray, man, and hope that your lawyers, you know, get in there like Mike Tyson and you know, fight for your life, man, and you get to get from up under that situation. You know what I mean? But that's all the time we got for today, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in. I appreciate y'all commenting. You know what I mean? Appreciate y'all subscribing. Appreciate y'all thugging it out with your boy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all definitely the fuel to this fire along with that bag, so don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? But until next time, it's your boy R2. Peace, love, one.